Rodney Cutler here. We're at the Cynthia Riley Show for Spring 2017. And you know I love to interview all these superstar stylists like the Peter Grays and the Richard Kavanaghs and the Guidos of the world. But today we have a very special guest who's not a stylist, who is actually a superstar colorist. David Stanko, what are you doing backstage?
Well, I'm backstage with Rodney, trying to catch a trend, see what's going on with makeup, with hair color, with styling, and of course I have to talk about hair color. And the reality is we don't really look at the runway stuff for hair color. These girls come in, and fortunately with Cynthia this year, it's really about the individual woman, what she came in with, and then we amp it up with the style. But in terms of color for the season, I really see a little bit of ginger coming back, some auburn and reds coming back, and of course blonde will never go out of style. And it's really about customizing to the woman, really looking at her features, but more importantly, once the color is finished, is giving the tips about makeup and fashion and the beauty consultants that we talk about from head to toe for the woman.
And we're also seeing it like in the clothes as well. I noticed there was a lot of texture, and also you even met with Sarah from Still about makeup. And I think the overlap, I remember a couple of seasons ago, Badger Lemishka with Peter Gray, the feather color, and then we're seeing all these pastels. So I'm curious about whether it starts on the runway, on the street, but it sort of definitely is intertwined.
Yeah, I think that the really primary colors, they were very bright and vivid kind of stuff. I think that was a street level trend that made its way into mainstream society. Even the most elegant women wanted a piece of blue or fuchsia or something. And then the natural progression of those colors is they fade. So then we capitalized on the pastel colors of that trend. So that's still very present and a very fun thing to look at. But sort of classically with the beauty stuff, it's always brunette, blondes, and redheads. But I really think it's about customization.
We're always getting in the way around here, aren't we? Yeah. But it's true, and even the show there's some lovely looks going on if you look at the textures, but every girl has a unique look, and I think that's something of a trend. We just came from another show earlier where every girl was styled individually, and I think that's something that's really sort of hitting the runway and unusual for Fashion Week.
Well, what's also cool is that you can look at the stylists and the makeup artists and think about color and trend. If you guys peek behind me for a second.
Oh, Mary, look at Mary.
Now here's a modern version of Bo Derek. This is how do you get these interesting textures? How do you get length in the hair? And just, it's just fun. It's a statement in both styling and the blonde hair color.
Good. So we're here too because what do we got coming up in Vegas?
Well, January is the 2017 Redken Symposium, and you and I, Rodney, as ambassadors for the brand, get to really talk to colorists and stylists on how to go from good to great. What is it that we can provide as the image consultant that really polishes everything off? For me, it's always a hair color change equals suggestions I have to provide about makeup. Maybe you go from black to brown eyeliner. Maybe you go from, a salmon to a stronger red lip. So that's my obligation as a colorist when I change a woman to make those suggestions.
So, the takeaway is for colorists, you need to know about Fashion Week. It helps build your salon business. It's beauty all in all. So it's great to have you backstage. I want to see you here more often. So that's it. Rodney Cutler.